Something which I'm noticing more and more as I'm switching between being in the forest and being in the cities is that cities look almost like a desert. There is like something integral missing. Uh, how do I call it? A feeling of complexity and opportunity. It's like the cities have banished nature, and what is left of nature, the trees around, the few that they are, and the cut down grass are like enemies. Enemies' heads stuck on a pole to display your victory. What I'm noticing more and more as I'm traveling is that this is not a space I would like my daughter to grow up in. This is a place like a desert, devoid of opportunity. And I think it's especially imminent or noticeable for young people. There are probably spaces where there is much opportunity, but for most places I have seen till now, everything is getting pretty restricted. The few freedoms that were still alive in the last generations slowly vanished. And from that viewpoint, if if you would do anything, if it is in your car, if it is by foot, you would always be walking on eggshells, whatever you would do. It is not surprising from that viewpoint that there is such a strong urge in this generation to flee into a new terrain, a virtual one, because there is the possibility. It's not restricted down. Like, whatever you want to do. If you want to start a business, if you want to build a house, whatever you want to do, you will have major problems, either financially or with bureaucracy. There is a lack of opportunity from my viewpoint. And the car's distracting me. What do I mean by that? There is no, the possibilities to create are severely restricted. And with that restriction, the creation which keeps the culture alive also vanishes. And as people notice that, they stop creating. They go somewhere else, either digital or another physical place, because it's like the generation before us. If you have how do I call it? If you have a conversation between someone from an older generation and someone from a younger generation, a hypothetical conversation, it's like you're missing opportunity. Yes? But look at that place. We made it so safe. It's great. Yes, that's exactly the point. It's too safe. There is no... how do I call it? No danger we're fighting for. As from my perspective, it's a great and safe place. There is certainly beauty to be found. But it's rare. And if I were to create some beauty, it would be an enormous undertaking, which creating beauty by itself is already. So why would I do it there? As for me, what comes down to me, for me, is a feeling of sadness. A feeling of disgust and sadness and disappointment. That, as someone in that younger generation, that the opportunity is not there for me to create. And as someone looking down, as giving birth to something which will have opportunity again, it's also sad because I know I will not be able to give that opportunity in that place. It's like we traded security for beauty or nature or opportunity. Security for opportunity. It's a hard feeling. It really saddens me. And as I can see it, it just keeps growing. Either it be... I'm standing behind a skate park. Those are getting rarer. More rare. The... How is the word? The places, the open spaces where you can do something are getting rarer. Or getting more restricted. The possibilities to get a place indoor to do something which was not done before are getting rarer, getting more rare from my viewpoint. It's like the physical plane is somehow dying out. The water, the stream of opportunity that made it grow once, dried up. So the fruits of passion are rotting with that. So the people are starving because there's no food anymore. I think that's a beautiful analogy. I feel like there's a lot to say about it, and I don't want to make it a simple critique of capitalism or a simple critique of consumerism, because it is not just that. It's seems like something way deeper. It seems like with saying we are human, we are not a part of nature, we are not animals. Cars are doing flips and donuts. There is one. This is this is the only open space in the city. And there's nothing else to do here than for these people to do that. And even that is kind of illegal. But it's the only thing to do. I had something to say. I think it's way deeper. And it really saddens me. But I think that's how every structure goes. It's how do I call it? It's a getting stale and rigid of structures that were once built. And that to be renewed would have to be torn down by a new generation. But that generation is looking at it and going, there's nothing for us to do here. We will not take up the effort required to fix your mess. All you have fucked up too much. We are going somewhere else. We are going into a digital space. Because that is easier than fixing this. There is no reason for us to be here. Like the connection between people can be transferred into a digital space. The terrain itself will be built. Because what makes a city is the people in it. This video is getting long. It should just be a short video. This was just kind of concerning me the whole day. And I can clearly understand why people would kill themselves. Because it's like, where are you going? Where are you going? There is nothing to do. And what there is to do is heavily restricted. And meant to do a really strict certain way. There is no freedom to explore and express yourself in most disciplines. I'm looking for something beautiful in that. Like Terence McKenna said once, humans are like a coral reef. So I'm trying to look at it like that, and the structures, the houses are beautiful. But it's like, there is no passion in them. Those are houses. They will keep people warm. They are structural buildings. They do exactly what were meant to do. But they don't really go beyond that. It's like, they were made beautiful enough to not be ugly. But there's nothing inspiring about them. And the only thing where beauty is found are the inner cities, because that is where commerce is happening. That is where structure is still alive. And I think that goes back on a general shift in how people do business. Before there was this big company selling to an individual. It's basically consumerism. It was just that everyone was just selling things and buying things. And it was just a part of living that you sell and buy. And that kind of distributed the, I will call them structures of life, the patterns of happening across the whole city. But now it seems to be concentrated in a few spots. And those spots are the only life force of the city. I guess a good thing is, this could be something. It feels like we are redistributing the surplus of our cities into researching technology instead of reinvesting it into the cities. This is great for progress, but has this effect of drying out the cities. This feeling is hard to describe. I will end the video now.